Hey everybody, you already know who it is, bringing you another review, talking about things you probably are thinking about buying, right? Yeah, let's get to it. Here today, I'm here to bring you the SH Figuarts Tony Stark, not Tony Stark from Iron Man 3, all that nonsense, it just says Tony Stark on the box. But you're not here for a box, let's get to it. Alright, first and foremost, I'm going to put Tony down so I can talk about this first release bonus part. It doesn't light up, it's a very nice base. Obviously you get it, it's really cool. It actually comes out of 3 parts. I don't want to take it apart because it's so neatly done. Doesn't light up, it looks really good, and it's the first release bonus is packaged in. So that means obviously when it gets re-released, you won't get it again, right? Let's talk about Tony now. Tony is outright amazing. When I think that of all the customs heads I've got done lately, and the Old Boy and the Kai Studio stuff and Feng Studios, I can definitely say SHF pretty much nailed Tony Stark really well without having to go and get a customizer. You get the butterfly joints in the shoulders because he has no bicep swivel, but you can obviously pull the joint out. You can rotate it all the way up down. As you can see, there's not really limited, but it's really nice for a human character. Ab crunch wise, Tony can get this far. Backwards, you can get a really nice arc. Legs go all the way up like this. They go out as far as this, so they go out actually pretty far. So the thing about my Tony is one of them, the legs came out really squeaky. I'm gonna have to oil that because of that it pops off. But that's just mine. If anybody else has that problem, there's nothing a little bit of WD-40 can't fix. As you can see, it's very squeaky. Tony actually has really good balance though, because I haven't had a chance to test it, but I'm gonna test it now. As you can see, he can stand on his own very well. But you're not here for that. You're here for the number one thing of the day. It's easy to wiggle his leg right off. They gave him a brand new ball joint. It's sort of like Figma, but it's not. It's new to SHF, but it's not a new type of technology in general. Also, quick note, this joint right here is really, well, in the crotch area is really soft, which allows you to get the type of articulation you want for Tony. And then you can swap in the Mark 42 armor parts. Now guys, be careful when you're swapping this in because you don't want to force it, as you see that I'm doing right now. And I'm doing that because, ooh, this is my first time plugging it in on this one. So you're gonna plug it in safely, and like I said, the leg is very dry, so I gotta get that out there. And one thing I want to note, they definitely added the extra points of articulation on his armor parts for the Tony. The only issue is that they take away the die cast, which you thought you would get because you're so used to getting it with Iron Man. You actually don't get it here with the Tony parts. You don't get that extra, that die cast love. But you do get the Mark 42 parts, and same as the arm, it slides off really well. And I'm going to leave one arm off because I want to talk about something. So one of the things I want to talk about is that, and this is really cool, with the Mark 42 parts, they leave the human arm plug. So I know some people wanted to swap theirs. I definitely wanted to do that with mine because the pads are much better on this one than they actually are in the Mark 42 because you know those fall off all the time. They actually switched the ball joint as well, just so you guys know. So you can't do the old bait and switch of using these ones on the Mark 42. I tried it, so that doesn't work out. It sucks because I definitely wanted to do that. One thing I would definitely want to try right here is see if this works. So as you can see, you can still put the human hands on, and that's why I saved this for it. So even if you want to do other stuff and other cool stuff, you can still definitely mix and match and play around with a bunch of other stuff. One thing I forgot to cover with the Tony is the head articulation. Sorry about that. So yeah. So one of the things you can cover with Tony is Kung Fu Tony and things like that. So he looks really good. It's actually one of those things where it complements the things you already have consistent of Iron Man, which is really great. I just think that it's really cool and it works out really well. And if you don't want the repulsor, honestly, just paint over it. It's no big deal to paint over it, and then you just have a normal Tony Stark in gear. So here's what the thing that everybody wants to know is, how does the head fit on the armor? So this squeaky leg is killing me because it does not do it on my other Tony Stark. So sorry about that. And the reason why I put that away is because the number one thing you're here for is basically to see if the head fits on the armor. So what you have to do is you have to heat and pop both the head and the joint out. Don't do just the head. It won't work out that way. And basically, you can kind of just slide it into the Mark 42 and voila. As you can see, it fits very flush and very well. The only problem is that it's very loose on the actual head. But for static stuff, it actually fits really, really well. So that's really cool. It does it for the Mark 42 and the Mark 43 pretty well. Everything else, not so much. It does not look good on the Mark 6, the black and gold Mark 6. It does not look well on the 45 or the 46. The joint is just not compatible. So as you can see, he looks good in both forms. And just in case you want to see what it looks like on the 43, I will show you. A little less flush and a little less good looking, but overall it looks really well. I will tell you this, if you have gotten every other armor at this point, you plan on getting the Renewal Mark 6, you plan on getting the Hall of Armor, this is an absolute must buy for you to complete for your Hall of Armor. If you're not, you're absolutely crazy. The head sculpt is done really, really well, and at this point, if you must be all invested in Iron Man in some shape or form, so go out and buy it. It's a really good figure. Don't let my one squeaky leg mislead you, because like I said, on my other one, it does not do this. I'm just here to review it and tell you about it. This is one issue. But in the meantime, please go out and cop yourself a Tony Stark. If you have questions about where I bought it, I'll just put it in the link or whatever. Go for it. Have a good one, guys. Later. Alright, one of the few things I forgot to cover in the review is that it also gives you holding hands. You get 2 of these. And you get 2 open palms as well as closed repulsor arms. So I just want to make sure I go over that. I tend to forget things, but add it in later. Also, really cool at the bottom, you can actually add the thrusters from previous Iron Man. So it fits in there, but I don't have a hand free right now. Judge me.